In this help video, I'd like to look at our Accounts Manager. This is available under Tools, Accounts and Risk. And in here we have three tabs: General, Accounts and Risk Profile. So let's go through these one by one. On the General tab, there's a tick box here that says Perform Rounding to Optimize Position Sizing. This is a tick box that allows you to increase your initial risk slightly above what's calculated in your 2% of, or whatever the percentage is of your account value, if you want to take a slightly larger risk than that. And that's normally for advanced traders, and I'll do a separate video on that. So normally you'd just leave that unticked, just leave that as it is. The next section is on Forex. If you're a Forex trader, you can choose to show your calculations in standard, pip size, mini or micro. Most of you will either be doing mini or micro, or if you want to show the absolute currency value, either the dollar value, you can select none there. But most people will probably do mini for the Forex lot size. For quotes here, this is again just specifically for Forex, so you want to just either display your quotes in pips, half pips or tenth pips. Most data vendors tend to plot in tenth pips, or that's sometimes called fractional pips, so that's the one you can leave selected there. Let's have a look at the Accounts tab. Here you can set up new accounts, and they'll be available in the drop down there on the chart to do your position sizing. So you can just do new. Let's call it, I don't know, video 1, because I'm doing a video. Let's say it's going to be, say, 15,000, and here you have an option to do different currencies. This time I'll perhaps do Australian dollars. It's whatever your account currency is in, and this is great because once this is set up, we can then select this from the chart, and it will change the tick value in the background, so keeps your position sizing constant across different markets that are traded in different base currencies. I'll show you that in a second. So let's just set this one up. To do this, you do OK. Once you've done OK, you have to do apply. So do apply down here, and that then saves it. If you want to edit it, you just select it and then do edit, and you can change the values there as well. So I'm doing apply. Then if I do OK, this then becomes available in this account drop down. So if I use the drop down here, you can see there is the new account value. So I'll just show you how that works. Let's put the analysis on this TS4 buy setup here. So here's all the analysis using the base tick value of 12.5 for the E-mini on a 20,000 sample account using 2% risk, and there's all your position sizing calculations done on that. But now if I now change to our new account I've just set up, can you see how the position sizing, well, first of all, the tick size has changed. Do you see that? The tick size has been calculated in the background to then go into Australian dollars rather than US dollars. So that allows you to do your position sizing in Australian dollars, i.e. your account currency, rather than the currency that this is actually traded in. So you can change it based on what your account currency is. That's really handy if you're trading different markets that have a different base currency to what your account is actually traded in. Right, let's go back to Accounts and Risk. So let's now go to the risk profiles. Here you define what the risk percentage would be and the tick offset or pip offset if you're trading currencies for our position sizing. Our defaults are 2%. You can see there it is, 2%, and we offset by 1 tick for entry and 1 tick for stop. That means that when you have an entry here, the entry level is 1 tick above the buy bar, in this case because you're going long, and the stop will be 1 tick below the pivot low. If you want to change that, you obviously can, and that will then change the tick value. So if we do that, apply, do OK, and then reload the chart, you can see that's taken that down a bit. I'll just put that back, because obviously I don't want that left as it was. So that allows you to change your offset, whoops, for your entry and stop levels. So for futures, we tend to do 2% and 1 and 1. For currencies, it's again we've set a default 2%, but obviously you can change that. And the offset and stop, we tend to do 2 and 3 pips. Now the thing you have to be careful of here, you can see it says 20 and 30. The reason it's 20 and 30 is because on the General tab I'm using tenth pips. So if it's tenth pips, that means an offset of 20 and 30. In other words, if you're using full pips, that would be 2 and 3. So you just have to be a little bit careful on that you obviously get the multiplication correct, that when you're using 10th pips, the offset has to be 10 times higher than a normal pip size. That is normally 20 and 30. We do slightly more for currencies because you tend to get a little bit more wiggle in and around the entries when you have currencies. CFDs, stocks, and we've got there with unknowns. So you can set the risk profile for the different asset class that you're actually trading. And that's really all there is in the accounts and risk section. I think the one that most of you will be using is your accounts. So you can set up different accounts, or you can edit the current account as your account size actually grows. And obviously you can have that in different currencies. As I've shown, if it's in different currencies, when you come back and do your position sizing here from this drop down, it changes your position sizing and the tick value based on what the current exchange rate is in the background. So that's a really neat feature to be able to make sure the position sizing is kept constant across different markets that are traded in different currencies. So that's the accounts and risk menu in MTPredictor 8.